Hi, in this video I will talk about the traditional revelation order of the Quran. And here you see the Meccan and Medinan surahs. I feel it is interesting to read it with chronological order for several reasons. First of all, so once something is started with something, and it may have a different meaning. You may feel like you see Fatiha is normally like the first surah, but here Alaq is the first surah. But this is more meaningful, and I think this is hard. This is logical. The first surah is a short, and you see the first claim to be revealed surah, and that like thinking that like which one you would pick as the first surah. Like maybe Asr could be the first one too. But not like others. So it's like more like introducing something. Maybe like a kalam also can be. And as in the beginning, it's mentioning the Quran. So I feel this revelation order is indeed interesting, and it makes it so. But it's the same anyway. The content is same, and also it is interesting to, for example, after Tawbah, Nasr is coming. So this is interesting because it's like Nasr is mentioning the victory, and Tawbah is talking about the war. And it is one of the verses that make you feel like there's a war, and they're mentioning the war conditions. So later, the victory is coming. So it's like a sort of relevant. And so, however, there are some things that claims that Surah 110 is the last in the traditional order. So this is like, but Noldaka placed it between 59 and 24. Slightly different from the traditional order in the following two items. The order of the surah is specified based on the revelation of the first ayah of the surah, not the revelation of the whole surah. So it's like, and it also makes some methodologic differences. But it's interesting also first two surahs, and the column is mentioning the Quran itself. Also, this is another one, and we see that. So the first 15 surahs, they are not very lengthy surahs. And first 17 surahs not lengthy, 18 is not lengthy, as I remember. So maybe Mudassir is sort of like a 74 verses, I guess. So it's like but still less than 100. And as I remember, maybe Qaf is lengthy, but possibly maybe not. But Furqan maybe. So, but it is logical, and it makes it easy to memorize and learn. And it has so that's like later. This is so we see we maybe hypothesize like the lengthier surahs are later revealed later, and not in the beginning. And maybe there is a verse that mentioning Quran should be read at night. So we can try to find the surah. So like so like which surah? Muzammil, I guess. So let's read it. The surah. Maybe this one. Maybe third surah. Not in the. Yes, this is the surah. So this is like a stand in the prayer, except a little, pray half of the night or light little less. So it's like so this is like teaching when they have to read Quran. So this is interesting. So this is logical that it is in the beginning of the Quran actually. Like I guess that but I mean it doesn't have to be like the first surah, but it's like in the beginning, teaching how they're supposed to pray and how often they should pray. It's like a teaching how to do this, and Allah is telling that the book is revealing, and this is the novelty of this Quran is like a revealing the novelty of the Quran, I guess. This is my interpretation, maybe God knows about that. It's like a giving, so novelty of the Quran is like the God will protect its text, and because this is a period that people, this is the trendy thing. So it is logical, maybe human evaluation and human change to human cultural change. And the Quran is actually mentioned in also other religions, actually, including in this book. And so like what else we see? And so like this Maida is like there are a lot of verses, Tawbah a lot of verses, and the end is there are a few verses. Um, so this from this point of view, it looks different to me. Like I suggest people to read it that way. It may be inspirational. It's like the most surahs, the beginning of those surahs are mentioned in the Quran. It's very logical to reveal, and it indicates a planning of Quran actually. Um, so there are the short surah, Adiyah and Kafirun, and in the beginning, like the 19, 20, 21, they're all short surahs in my knowledge. And so Naml is not a short, I guess. Shuara is not a short, definitely not a short, definitely more than 100 verses, 120 verses. And Jonah Surah is also not a the lengthy verses, lengthy surah. So this is interesting. So it's like it makes it easy to understand, keep it in your memory, and it is first surahs are revealing the Quran, and it has something to do with revelation of the Quran, and it makes you feel like the structure is meaningful. And maybe the chronological order doesn't matter, but overall things in the Quran is like confirming Quran is from God. But it's interesting that, but some, in my knowledge, I think some calculations using the current order of the Quran may be not very accurate when it comes to make calculations specific to reference to Surah 1, like Surah 7. It's like doesn't work perfectly. That's what I feel. But if they make like overall mathematical calculations like total number, and it makes me think total number, then it is accurate. Somehow it makes me feel like what if the order of surahs are actually like should be like in chronological order and shouldn't be like other order. So this is one of the possible hypotheses, but this is my hypothesis and I didn't work on it. I didn't have much knowledge about it, so I cannot just confidently say this is the right way. And God knows better, and people can also seek this and search for this hypothesis, and they should follow the chronological order to run some mathematical analysis, and also can use other different versions of chronological order of surahs if there is any available. And nowadays with the technology and computer science, this is not very hard to do this. So I'm sure they can do this. So that's all I want to say in this video, and thanks for watching this video, and God knows better, and hope to see you in the next video.